Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Today, as we preview Watford's trip to Portman Road to take on promotion chasing Ipswich Town. Ipswich know that if they win all of their remaining fixtures, they will secure themselves promotion to the Premier League. Can Watford take points off of them on that run? Well, we'll have to wait and see, and we'll discuss all about that in just a moment. But first, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, leave a like on the video, and let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below as well. Right, let's get straight into the video then. And I think we'll start with Watford's last game at home at Vicarage Road, which was a 0-0 ball draw against Preston North. And it was a good day out, it was a fun day out, but ultimately the game wasn't very exciting to watch for me personally. Either team didn't really have any clear-cut chances whatsoever. Watford probably had the better chances actually in the second half, a couple of half chances that perhaps we should have put away if we had more clinical players available to us. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And for me personally, it felt a little bit like Watford were on the beach. Now, when you look at the Championship table, Watford really have nothing to play for at all. We're not going to get relegated. We're not going to get promoted. We're not in a playoff race. We're not in a title race. We're kind of comfortably in that mid-table position. There's no jeopardy at all. And that's what it kind of felt like against Preston, really. Both teams were quite comfortable. And yeah, it wasn't that great of a game to watch. Looking at Tom Cleverley's previous 3 games, though, great 1-0 win away at Birmingham City to kick off his managerial career at Watford. And then it was a 2-2 draw at home to Leeds United, which for me personally was the best overall performance we've seen from a Tom Cleverley Watford side so far. Such great pressing in that game from the outset, really. And I think towards the end, maybe Watford got a little bit tired, a little bit lazy defensively, which ultimately led to us conceding that late goal. West Brom followed a similar story, really. First half, not so great. Second half, much improved from Watford, but again, conceding a late goal to Furlong in the 90th minute. And then, as I just mentioned, the Preston game at Vicarage Road, a 0-0 ball draw, really. Quite disappointing performance from Watford, in my opinion. But as I said, it felt like to me the players were a little bit on the beach for me. But we still have quite a lot to play for. We don't have promotion or relegation to play for, but what we do have to play for is pride. And actually, Watford can have a big effect on the on the promotion chase coming up. Now, Watford face Ipswich on Wednesday, then we face Southampton, then we face Sunderland, and then I believe we face Middlesbrough on the final day of the season. So Watford playing a few sides who are in and around them playoff positions in the next few weeks. And yeah, if Watford put in some decent performances and take some points off these teams, we can certainly have a big effect towards the top end of the table come the end of this season. Now, Ipswich Town will be very disappointed after their last game. Their big rivalry and derby between themselves and Norwich City ultimately ended in a 1-0 defeat for them. However, for Ipswich, as I mentioned at the very start of the video, they know that if they win all of their remaining fixtures, they will at least finish second in the Championship, which will guarantee them Premier League promotion. Back-to-back promotions for Ipswich Town if they can manage it this season, which would be an incredible achievement. And actually, I'm just sitting here now looking at their squad that they have available, and they have some really, exciting players. Actually, Axel Tuanzebe is a defender I really like. Amari Hutchinson, Kiefer Moore, Harry Clark, Jeremy Sarmiento as well. They have a fantastic, plethora of players available to them compared to Watford. And I think comparing both sides, they've just built such a, fantastic squad in all positions, really. And yeah, I look at the Watford squad, and yes, we have some individually talented players, but sometimes we don't quite work as a cohesive team. Whereas I look at Ipswich, they come straight up from League One, and then straight away, from the very start of the season under Kieran McKenna, you could see how they wanted to play. Yes, we lost to them in the reverse fixture at Vicarage Road as well. Not quite as heavily as I expected to. Yasser Espria scored in that game, and I believe Watford lost quite late on in that Ipswich game, if I remember correctly, 2-1 to Ipswich in the reverse fixture at Vicarage Road. But look, I actually hope For me personally, Ipswich do go on and get promoted. However, of course, as a Watford fan, as a biased Watford fan, I want Watford to take all 3 points from this game. But for me personally, is that going to happen? I don't personally think so. I think Ipswich Town will be right up for this. They'll be ready to go, especially after their defeat to Norwich City. I'm sure that would have hurt their fans, hurt the players, hurt Kieran McKenna personally as well. And I'm sure they'll be looking to take their anger out on this Watford team. So for me personally, from a realistic perspective, I can maybe see this becoming Tom Cleverley's first defeat in charge of Watford. He's done well up to this point, 4 games unbeaten so far for a really young head coach with very little experience. I think is very impressive from my perspective. Obviously, Tom Cleverley only managed the under-18s before taking this job. So yeah, Tom Cleverley's done a great job. However, Kieran McKenna, the Ipswich Town squad, they've got some great players. I can only see this ending one way. So for my realistic score prediction, I'm going to go for a 3-0 thumping away from home. But the score prediction in my heart, as a biased Watford fan, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Watford win. Dennis and Aspria with the goals for Watford. So let me know your score predictions in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Watford Way so you don't miss any of our videos or live streams going forward for the remainder of the season. And for this Ipswich game, I will be doing a live match watch long here on the Watford Way. So I'll be live here just prior to kick off, and I'll be watching the entire game with you guys here live on the Watford Way, which I'm very much looking forward to. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Wednesday evening for Watford versus Ipswich Town away at Portman Road. Bye-bye.